Welcome to Valuations and Succession Planning for Car Dealers, where two industry experts take a deep dive into the world of dealership valuations and the strategies that can drive growth and success. In this series, Dan Iosu, a succession planner with the Rawls Group, and Scott Womack, Senior Vice President of Mercer Capital, will cover a wide range of topics, including the fundamentals of valuations, industry trends, best practices, and common challenges faced by car dealers. Here we go.
So in the previous episode, I mentioned that with regard to evaluation, misconception, obviously we work with the dealers and management directly, but 9 times out of 10 or more often than not, we're actually engaged by their advisors. So that may be their divorce attorney, that may be the estate planning attorney, et cetera, on their behalf. Typically, the first step would be what we call engagement administration. That's sort of the engagement letter or the contract. Depending on purpose or triggering event that we also discussed in another episode might dictate whether it's a fixed fee project or an hourly project. Litigation projects are hourly just because the scope may morph into depositions or mediation or things like that. And then one of the often underlooked portions of that engagement letter is where what's called the assignment definition. That's kind of the roadmap for the valuation. And in that, we're trying to make sure we understand on the front end, what's the name of the company? What are we valuing? What's the purpose? What is the standard of value and things like that? Because if we don't have that right on the front end, it can lead to confusion or us concluding the wrong answer on the back end. Along with the engagement letter for us, typically is either a retainer or a commitment fee that's set based on the size of the scope of the project. Once that retainer is received and the engagement letter signed, we send out an information request list. That's all the documents, dealer financials, tax returns, competitive information that we need to complete the valuation. Once we receive that information from clients, we input the financials into our templates, analyze the history of the company. Hopefully that explains kind of where it's been, likely an indication of where it's going. And really the next entry point for the dealers or management is what we call a management interview or due diligence call. At the end of the day, the auto dealer is going to know more about his or her company than we do. And so it's an opportunity for us to find out more about the dealership, let them brag about it. Understand the risks and competitive information and talk about some of the value drivers that we discussed on a previous episode. Once we have that back, finish our analysis and generate draft report or communication. Sometimes we do that in a written report. Sometimes we do that initially over Zoom, or we can sort of have an interactive session with the clients depending on their sophistication level and how much detail they want. Generally speaking, I'd say that whole process is 6 to 8 weeks, can be more, depending on time of year or how busy the firm might be. And that's just kind of a little window into the process. One misconception with clients is that sort of time frame doesn't really start until we have a signed contract.
This is only one out of our 12-episode series focused on dealership valuations and the strategies that can drive growth and success. Continue listening to the series now or come back for more. Each topic featured may want you to learn something new. Succession planning allows you to create more control over the future you envision by proactively addressing possible, probable, and potential issues impacting your goals. Do you have a question you want to discuss with an expert? Feel free to reach out directly to Dan or Scott at the email addresses listed on the screen. Valuations and Succession Planning for Car Dealers is a part of the Rawls Group's Advancing Your Business, People, and Legacy Conversation series.